Level 1, Disgraced, Coach. You stare at the television. Every sports channel is talking about you, not because you won, because you got fired. One question ended everything. After another late-game mistake from your franchise superstar, you asked, "Why would you leave him open?" The room went silent. The reporters went crazy. The fans turned on you. The front office chose their star. And just like that, you were unemployed. For a month, your phone never rang. No interviews, no offers, nothing. Then one team called New York, the kings of disappointment. A franchise that had spent decades collecting heartbreak like Pokemon cards. Most coaches would have run. You accepted immediately. Because nobody believes in outcasts more than another outcast. When you arrive, you meet your roster. An undersized point guard everyone said was too small. A franchise center who got replaced. A champion who was traded away after getting hurt. A shooting guard mocked for his trade package. A hustle player nobody valued. And a veteran center who somehow survived every terrible Knicks season known to mankind. You look around the room. Nobody wanted these guys. Nobody wanted you. Perfect. Because sometimes the best supervillains are the ones nobody sees coming. Level 2, Opening Day Statement. Opening night, Madison Square Garden. First game, Boston. An East Side powerhouse. The team everybody still fears. The game starts normal. Then your team suddenly decides to commit basketball crimes. The captain starts slicing through defenders. The center dominates the paint. The defense turns Boston's offense into a missing persons case. The lead grows 10, 15, 20, 25. The garden smells blood. Boston eventually fights back because good teams always do. But every time they get close, your captain slams the door shut. Final score, New York wins. The message is clear. The playoff run wasn't luck. This team is real. And for the first time, the rest of the league starts paying attention. Level 3, NBA Cup Heist. Most teams wanted the NBA Cup. Your team treated it like a bank robbery. One game at a time, they started stealing victories. Milwaukee, gone. Toronto, gone. Orlando, gone. Every opponent entered confident. Every opponent left confused. By December, opposing coaches were checking security footage. The captain played like every insult he'd ever received was tattooed onto the basketball. The center bullied everybody. The defense terrorized entire offenses. Soon, only one game remained, the championship. Las Vegas, the bright lights, the giant alien from San Antonio, the future face of basketball. At least, that's what everyone kept saying. The game was ugly, physical, chaotic, exactly how your team liked it. The alien blocked shots. Your players crashed into walls. Half the roster looked one possession away from needing medical attention. Then something happened. The backup center. A man who had survived so many New York seasons that historians use him as a reference point. He started grabbing rebounds, then more rebounds, then offensive rebounds. Then rebounds that legally belonged to future possessions. At one point, a Spurs player finally secured a rebound. 3 seconds later, it belonged to him again. Nobody knows how. Scientists are still investigating. The outcasts refused to quit. Again, the defense locked in, the captain took over, the lead flipped. The clock expired. Confetti fell. New York lifted the NBA Cup. Their first trophy. Proof that maybe, just maybe, this wasn't a cute story anymore. Maybe it was destiny. Level 4, the comeback curse. Every team has a special ability. Your team's special ability was psychological warfare because they refused to die. Down 15? Whatever. Down 20? Not worried. Down 29? Now they're interested. Again and again, New York fell behind. Again and again, they came back. National TV, Christmas games, road games, didn't matter. Every comeback followed the same script. The crowd celebrates too early, your captain gets angry, the defense starts stealing souls, the center grabs every rebound in existence. The lead disappears. Opposing fans experience emotional damage. By spring, the league finally understood something terrifying. If you wanted to beat New York, you better finish the job, because if you left the door open even a little, they were coming back through it with a chair. Level 5, the playoff run. The regular season ends. 50 wins, a trophy, national respect. None of it matters, because now it's the playoffs, round 1. Atlanta, the Hawks steal a game. The internet immediately declares New York finished. New York responds by winning the series so violently that it felt less like basketball and more like a natural disaster. Next came Philadelphia. New York hit threes from everywhere. The bench hit threes. The starters hit threes. At one point it felt like security guards were hitting threes. Philadelphia never recovered. Sweep. Then came Cleveland, the final obstacle. The best remaining team. Game 1 looked over. New York trailed by 22. Fans were preparing sad tweets. Commentators were preparing funeral speeches. Then the comeback machine activated. Basket, basket, 3, stop, 3. Chaos, the impossible happened. New York stole Game 1. Then stole Game 2. Then stole the series. 4 games, 0 losses. Conference champions. The Garden exploded. Players cried. Fans cried. The city lost its mind. For the first time in generations, New York were headed to the NBA Finals. Waiting on the other side, San Antonio, the alien and the superstar guard whose decision got you fired. Basketball has an incredible sense of humor. Level 6, the final boss. 4 wins away. That's it. 4 wins from ending a drought older than most of the roster. 53 years. The finals begin. New York steal Game 1. Then Game 2. The alien throws the ball away. New York wins. Suddenly they're halfway there. Then comes Game 3. The alien responds. The Spurs win. The series is alive. Then comes Game 4. The game nobody ever forgets. The Spurs build a 29-point lead. 29. The season is dying. The championship is dying. Everything. Halftime arrives. The locker room is silent. Then you remind your players who they are. Not stars, not favorites. Outcasts, players nobody wanted. Players everyone doubted. The second half begins, and the comeback starts. Slowly, then faster, then all at once. The lead shrinks. 29, 20, 10, 5, 1. The crowd starts believing. The Spurs start panicking. Then comes the moment that completes the story. The superstar guard gets the ball. The same superstar guard whose decision got you fired years ago. The same player who ignored your warning. The same player who never learned. The Spurs have the lead. The clock is dying. All he has to do is hold the ball. Instead, he attacks. A completely unnecessary drive. The exact mistake that started this entire story. Waiting at the rim is your defensive monster. Block, swat. The shot disappears. The ball disappears. The crowd detonates. For a brief moment, New York can reportedly be seen vibrating from space. The arena explodes. One final chance. The captain launches a desperate 3. The shot hits the rim. The championship dream hangs in the air. For half a second, it looks over. Then suddenly, a blur. A flying body, pure chaos wearing a New York jersey. The defensive monster comes soaring in from absolutely nowhere. Tip, the ball bounces. IN. 1.2 seconds left. Madison Square Garden detonates. Not erupts, not explodes. Detonates. Scientists later estimate the sound registered somewhere between a rocket launch and an angry volcano. The defensive monster is screaming, the crowd is screaming, the announcers are screaming. Nobody can hear anybody because everyone is screaming. The Spurs stare at the scoreboard like it personally insulted them. And somewhere, deep inside, you start laughing. Because basketball just spent an entire season building the greatest punchline imaginable. The same low IQ decision that got you fired years ago just created the biggest moment in franchise history. New York leads. The city loses its mind. The Spurs have 1.2 seconds left to save their season, and destiny is finally wearing blue and orange. The arena detonates. You don't celebrate, you laugh, because basketball just delivered the funniest punchline in history. The mistake that got you fired just saved your season. Moments later, New York takes the lead. The greatest finals comeback ever. The city goes insane. The Spurs look broken. New York leads 3-1. One win remains. Level 7, Immortal. Game 5, one final chance. The Spurs fight. The alien fights. But your captain is done waiting. Every lonely workout, every doubt, every insult, every moment of being told he wasn't good enough. It all explodes in one night. The greatest game of his life. The fourth quarter belongs to him. The final minutes belong to him. History belongs to him. The buzzer sounds. The drought is over. New York are champions. Players collapse. Coaches cry. Fans cry. The city becomes one giant celebration. Days later, millions flood the streets for the parade. Music blasts. Confetti flies. The trophy shines in the sunlight. Your captain steps to the microphone, looks at the crowd, looks at the championship trophy, smiles, and says, "Dang, we really did it." And for the first time in 53 years, nobody in New York argues with him.